everyone, I'm George Jackson, executive producer of GovExec TV, host for today's 5 questions with James Rogers. He is Director of Data Center Modernization at Dell Technologies. James, good to see you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And here with him, Christopher Sutton, Partner Systems Engineer at Dell Technologies. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Great to see you.
James, kick us off. So back this summer, you and Christopher authored a paper, and that paper has taken on a life of its own since then. Give me a sense of what you were trying to get down, what you were hoping to accomplish.
So in conversations that we've had with our federal customers, we hear a very common theme. They have a lot of data. That data is growing at an exponential rate, and even the rate at which that data is growing, there's always something new, AI, machine learning, and so forth. So they have all these disparate pools of data created by discrete applications, and they're really looking to leverage the most out of those. They need to consolidate that data downward. They need to divorce it from the underlying infrastructure and make sure that they can very easily move it with their users, their applications, their workloads into various cloud service providers, be able to pull it back on-prem easily, and so forth. So Chris and I collaborated and put together a white paper discussing the assets, the benefits that you could leverage from realizing the power of your data, as well as highlighting a couple of tools that would be very beneficial in bringing that to fruition.
Absolutely. And something I'd like to add, James mentioned at the beginning, is AI and understanding how their data would be leveraged in that. And beyond just AI, helping our customers understand the additional performance hits that those data sets and those applications would hit, and whether or not everything that they currently have can handle not only day-to-day operations, you've got backup, you've got disaster recoveries, you're moving data around, you've got data analytics. Now you want to put AI on top of it. So it's not just about where the data is, where does it live, but there's also additional layers of, does your underlying technology have the capability to support it in the areas where you want to leverage it as well?
Key focus, key challenge for public sector right now, but James also mentioned solutions. Before we went on the air, we were talking about 2 of them. I'd like to go through them one by one here, if I could, Christopher. The first one, Dell PowerStore. What is that?
So PowerStore is more in the vein of a traditional storage platform. And it not only can support your traditional block and file, it also supports virtual environments as well. But it now is architected in a way that takes on attributes of the cloud. You want scalability, you want resiliency, you want security all built into that. And it now has those abilities, being able to grow, leverage multiple nodes to be available, to overcome failures, to also, by being able to leverage different node storage and performance characteristics. It really allows our customers to adapt the requirements of the workload, and it helps them get back into being able to consolidate that platform out there instead of having different silos of data specific to an application or data set specific needs.
What about Dell PowerFlex?
So PowerFlex takes that to the next level. Think of more of almost like a hyperscaler capability. So from a storage platform, it goes into being able to decouple software and compute and storage from one another in an architecture that not only allows it to be leveraged on site, but scale into hundreds of nodes, as well as take that software. And then that's really the ultimate goal, is to get that software to a point to where it can be leveraged and engaged in a cloud. So that gives you a similar look and feel from what you're doing on-prem and those needs and those data sets that are best served being on-prem to that data set that you've migrated into the cloud, and you've got that similar look and feel and you know that you've can address multiple facets of data with one unified platform, as well as a common security platform as well.
Draw me back to mission, James. I listen to your colleague here, and I think of the word visibility. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we're talking about data today, most of our data is generated by individual applications, so they tend to live in silos. Whatever application generates that data owns it all the way, until that data is deleted at the end of its life cycle. As a result of having all these pools, all these silos, we have walls between them, and we don't have any centralized visibility into that. So getting visibility into our data allows us to answer very simple questions like, are we protecting this data? Are we retaining it long enough to meet National Archives requirements? Who has access to this data? How is that access being used? So being able to answer those very simple questions first depends upon us getting a lay of the land, getting access to that data and consolidating it down into smaller footprints where we can then utilize that to its fullest potential.
For organizations who are trying to do what you're talking about, Christopher, look more holistically at their data, at the life cycle, how is that complicated by hybrid or multi-cloud landscapes?
Working with various cloud providers, working with various vendors, you're looking or having to address the platforms that you have to leverage, whether that's an AWS public cloud, whether that's Azure, whether that's Google Docs, and you're kind of tied into their ecosystem, right? So with that, essentially, your folks have to be trained in each one of those platforms as one of the concerns there with that. And then also, with each one of those different clouds, you've got security concerns. You may have a security concern in one that you don't have in the other. And so you might also have security concerns across different platforms that you're leveraging in-house as well. So if that data is moving around from the edge, from the data center into public clouds, however you want to best leverage it, how is it managed? How does it scale? How can you share it? And just the general security parameters around that. So when we're looking at solutions like PowerFlex and PowerStore, we're really having the conversations with our customers to help them mitigate some of those concerns. Let's standardize as much as we can. We understand that your data has different parameters depending upon what you want to do with it, whether that's AI, analytics, you got DevSecOps, and let's truly help you put the data in the right place at the right time, right performance, and make sure that it's secure for your folks. And whatever that look and feel is that you have here, let's also try to get that into the cloud as well for you. So,
James, where does Ironbow come into that scenario?
Certainly. Ironbow is a full-service provider, and our job is to accompany agencies through every single step of that journey. So that starts with assessment, analyzing what they've got today, where it lives, and where the problems might be, and working with the agency to develop that future state that we want to get to. We'll, again, accompany you on every step of the journey, from procurement, deployment, including operations, if that's what the agency is looking for. And we can do that as both an outright sale or a managed service offering if organizations are looking to flatten that budgeting curve.
Well, great conversation today with James Rogers, Director of Data Center Modernization at Dell Technologies. Thanks for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And Christopher Sutton, Partner Systems Engineer at Dell Technologies. Great to have you.
thank you.
Audience, thank you for watching. That was today's 5 questions. For GovExec TV, I'm George Jackson. Have a great day.